Hello friends, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. We are discussing our third unit, and in this third unit now we are going to talk about the different methods and tools what we use in sociology. We also have discussed our scientific method, which is the foundation of a good social research. Now when you talk about methods and tools in sociology, let me tell you there are hundreds and hundreds of methods, both in the positivistic or quantitative methods as well as in interpretative or qualitative research methods also. So methodology is basically very crucial in sociology for us to carry out a scientific research. So method is what? It is a systematic way of conducting research, and methods basically help us to overcome our personal biases. You remember I was talking about subjectivity and objectivity. So if we have to be objective, it is very important that we use right kind of methods, and needless to say that every research theme has to be aligned with the right kind of research tool and right kind of research method for us to give the best results. Okay, so a clarity on this is very important, and what method we should use, what tool we should use, it should be completely aligned with what is our research theme, what are the objectives of our research. Now when you talk about methods and tools, different scholars, in fact right from 1838 1839 till now 2026, different scholars have given different approaches of these methods. For example, Chapin talks about historical statistical observation method, Elwood is talking about comparative historical survey deductive and philosophical method. So many methods you will find across in our literature. I will be discussing some of those methods here. So coming to observation method and observation as a tool of data collection. Observation is always done in natural settings, and that is where we will have to differentiate between participant observation and non-participant observation. Of course, observation as a tool is a very I would say efficient tool, but at the same time consuming, and it involves lot of notes taking if you are trying to do a scientific observation method. Experimental method, though we believe that we cannot carry out experimental method in sociology, because how do you experiment on humans? But I will take you back to some advertisement, like long time back we used to get one advertisement that if you are drinking a particular health drink, you grow taller, and people those who are not drinking the health drink, they remain shorter. So on a similar ground, in experimental method also we create two kinds of groups, experimental group and control group. In experimental group, you are introducing the change of, well, and that change how it is impacting, we are trying to assess that. But of course it is a artificially induced change, and that is why thorough understanding might not be reached out, and for all kind of research themes experimental method might not be of much use. When we talk about historical method, definitely it is studying the past and trying to understand the social context connected with it. It helps us to understand the origins of the institutions and practices, but there can be lack of records, sometimes biased records. We have comparative method, we also have statistical method here. In comparative method, which was strongly used by Emile Durkheim, and also we use in anthropology to a great extent, we are trying to compare two different societies in the same time period, or one society in different time periods. So by making such comparisons, we are able to get a broad idea of what kind of changes have taken place. Of course, this has its limitation where cultural meanings can keep changing. In statistical method, when we are trying to understand, it is trying to use numerical data to analyze a social phenomena. Friends, we will have to understand here that all the social phenomena cannot be quantified. This is one concern which we have to remember. But still using statistical method, because if you have to make efficient policies for nation development, social research should be in a position to give reliable data, for which statistical method becomes very, very important. So we can use statistical method in population studies, birth rate, death rates, and few other sociological realities where we can use this method to come out with quantitative facts. Sociometry. This was developed by L.G. Moreno, where he is trying to measure the interpersonal relationships like likes, dislikes, and how group dynamics changes over a period of time. We usually use this kind of methods when our groups are smaller in size. With larger groups this is not possible, and it focuses on very limited aspects of social relationships. Social survey is one of the most widely used method in all social sciences across the world, and this is one of the most popular tools of any government to collect the grassroots level data for policy making. And it collects data on living and working conditions, and it is always conducted in a specific geographical area. And as I said, this is one tool which helps. Statistical method and social survey method are very, very important in policy making, but in some context it can have its respective limitations. We also have case study method. Case study method, the focus is on one individual group, it can be one individual or a group or one institution. And here again, case study method is again dependent on either questionnaire as a tool, or interview schedule as a tool, or in-depth interview as a tool, and it helps us to find the insights into social behavior. And again it has its limited generalization. It's one of its major limitations. Questionnaire method, one of the most popularly used methods. We again have closed-ended questions, open-ended questions. If I ask you, are you okay? So this is a closed-ended question because you will reply me yes or no. If I ask you, how are you? This is an open-ended question because here I am giving you complete freedom to answer whatever you would like to answer. Similarly, we have interview method and public opinion method. Interview, see friends, we have to clearly understand interview can be of multiple types. It can be telephonic interview, it can be interview schedule, it can be in-depth interview. Interview schedule is a quantitative research method. In-depth interview is a qualitative research method. But what is common, especially in whether it is interview schedule or in-depth interview, is face-to-face interaction. And in public opinion method, we are trying to understand the opinion of the people. So this in nutshell are some of the methods and tools what we use. But my dear learners, this is a huge ocean, and the more and more you swim into the ocean, more and more perfection you will attain in what kind of tools, what kind of methods can be used to carry out a efficient social research. But it is very important that whatever tool we are using, whatever method we are using, let us try to use it with accuracy, and that is where combination of methods can be one good idea. So in this particular unit, we have tried to cover about sociology as a discipline, scientific method, and what are the different methods and tools which we can use in sociology. My only request to my young friends who are listening to this lesson is, we need to explore new kind of tools and methods if we have to understand more in a more scientific manner the social realities, the social challenges, the social problems, especially by overcoming the subjective issues and at the same time getting the best insights out of it. So very, very happy learning to all of you, my dear friends. Thank you.